So, you're trying to choose between the MSI Claw and the Steam Deck. You have probably watched a dozen videos comparing the frame rates and the screen brightness. But I think the real decider, the thing that will actually impact your day-to-day gaming, is something else entirely: the operating system. On one side, you have got Windows 11 on the Claw. It's familiar, it's powerful, it can run basically anything. On the other, you have SteamOS on the deck, which is custom built with one goal in mind: making handheld gaming as smooth as possible. So which one is actually better to live with? I've spent a ton of time with both, and the answer isn't as simple as you would think. Let's dive in. First up, let's test how fast you can get from a cold boot to your game library. Now, you would expect the dedicated SteamOS on the deck to be much faster here. It boots directly into its library, ready for action. But the Claw is surprisingly quick. After logging into Windows, the MSI Center M launcher loads up automatically, and this is going to be a much closer race than I anticipated. And look at those final times. The Steam Deck clocked in at 33 seconds, but the MSI Claw was right on its tail at 34 seconds. I have to say that's incredibly impressive for the Claw. Despite loading a full desktop OS first, the time to get to a usable game library is virtually identical to the Steam Deck. Okay, next up, my favorite feature, and honestly the one that might be a deal breaker: quick resume. On the Steam Deck, you can be in the middle of a massive boss fight, tap the power button, go make a sandwich, come back, tap it again, and you are right back in the action instantly. Watch this. It's just so good. It completely changes how you play on the go. Now let's try that on the Claw. The closest equivalent on Windows is the Hibernate feature, which saves your session to the drive before powering down. Let's see how that compares. And yeah, it's not the same magic trick, is it? Waking from Hibernate is slower and more deliberate. While it's more reliable than simple sleep mode for saving your game state, it's not that seamless, instant experience the deck provides. For that true pick up and play feel, the deck is just in another league here. But this is where the story flips. What if you want to play games outside of your Steam library, particularly using one of the big subscription services? Let's start with the Xbox Game Pass. On the MSI Claw, the experience is perfect. It's a Windows machine, so you download the official Xbox app and you have the native access to the entire library. You can download games directly to the device, just like on a console or PC. For Game Pass users, it doesn't get better than this. Now, what about cloud gaming on the deck? This is where it gets interesting. While you still have to use a browser for Game Pass streaming, the story is much better for Nvidia users. There is now an official installer for GeForce NOW. The process involves switching over to desktop mode, downloading the installer from the Nvidia site, and then running the setup file. It then adds GeForce NOW to your library as a non-Steam game. So while it's not a one-click install from the Steam store, it still gives you a proper native feeling application. And the experience is incredibly slick. For GeForce NOW subscribers, this is a top tier way to play. So when it comes to subscriptions, it's a fascinating trade-off. If you are a dedicated Xbox Game Pass user who wants to download games locally, the MSI Claw is your only choice. But if you are a GeForce NOW user, the Steam Deck offers a fantastic, well-integrated experience once you have done the initial setup. But the software advantage for Windows isn't just about which stores you can access. It's about a simple guarantee that every single PC game will work exactly as a developer intended. This is especially true for some of the biggest online multiplayer games. Many popular online games use kernel-level anti-cheat software. Because the MSI runs a native version of the Windows, these anti-cheat systems work perfectly. You just install the game and you can play online without any issues. On the Steam Deck, it's a different story. SteamOS uses a compatibility layer called Proton to run Windows games, and this often clashes with aggressive anti-cheat. The result is that many of the world's most popular online games simply will not run, or you'll be blocked from playing on secure servers. So, if your main game is Fortnite, this isn't just a small point. It could be the entire decision right here. For guaranteed out-of-the-box compatibility with every PC game, Windows has a clear and undeniable edge. Finally, let's talk about the invisible stuff that happens in the background, specifically how these devices handle updates. On the Steam Deck, everything is centralized. Game updates, system firmware, it's all handled cleanly through one interface. It feels exactly like a console. You turn it on and it just works. The MSI Claw, because it's a Windows PC, has to juggle updates from multiple sources. You'll have game updates inside your game launcher, you'll have driver updates from MSI or Intel, and then you have the big one, Windows updates, which can decide to run in the background, pop up with a restart notification, and generally interrupting your gaming session. It's the classic PC experience, for better or for worse. You have ultimate control, but you also have to be your own IT admin. This is that final layer of polish where the dedicated single-purpose nature of SteamOS really shines through. So, what's the verdict? Honestly, after using both, I don't think one is better. They're just for different people. The Steam Deck is for the person who wants a pure, polished, it just works handheld console. If you live inside of Steam and value a seamless experience above everything else, this is your device, no question. The MSI Claw is for the tinkerer, the power user, the person who wants the freedom to run anything and everything a PC can and doesn't mind dealing with a few Windows quirks to get that power. If you live on Game Pass or need that guaranteed anti-cheat compatibility, the Claw is the clear choice. So, a perfect gaming console or a tiny, powerful PC, that's a real choice you're making. I would love to know which way you are leaning. Let me know down in the comments which one fits your style. Thanks for watching, and if this helped you out, a subscribe would be amazing. See you in the next one.